Hey guys, Ryan from the Melbourne Centre of Healing here. So I had a conversation with a friend a few months ago now, and it's just stuck in my mind ever since with what we spoke about, and in particular what he said to me. So we were catching up. I was doing a talk he'd invited me to, and beforehand we were chatting just a bit more about my past, and he was getting a bit more detail about a few things that I went through. And he said to me, "Do you regret any of it?" And I said to him, "No, not at all. That's what's led me to being where I am today. And if I had my time over again, I'd do it all again." If that sounds crazy. And then he said something to me that really, really stuck with me. This is a guy who has an amazing energy. He's always got a smile on his face. He just greets people and cares for people. You can see that. He's a great family man. He's doing great things to contribute back to the community. He's also someone who went through cancer and he nearly lost his life and spent a lot of time in hospital. And at this moment, he looked at me and he said, if I had my time over again, I would ask God to give me cancer again, because it was the best thing that could happen to me. So what are we talking about here? That cancer can be the best thing someone has, or going through a really bad addiction can be the best thing someone has. What does this all mean? These are the challenges and the difficulties that we face. And, you know, any problem that comes along not in order to make our lives miserable, but actually in order to make our lives less miserable. And the suffering that these difficulties impose is an attempt to wake us up. And if we wake up, then we have something to be grateful for. So what do we mean by waking up? It's waking up from living a life of not being authentic. It's living someone else's life. And I remember this friend of mine said to me, he said once he went through that cancer, all the stuff that he thought was important in his life, all this achieving and doing, all of that stuff, he realized that it wasn't important at all. And what was important were the small things in life, and his family, and his health, and giving back. And it's just so inspirational to hear that. Now, I'm not recommending cancer or addiction to be woken up. But, you know, it's said that there's a part of us that will give us these difficulties and give us these challenges. And this part of us is a part of us that loves us so much that it will keep giving us these difficulties until we learn the lesson. What else can it do? You know, some people call this part the higher self. That's what I like to call it as well. And until we wake up and get the lesson, we'll keep being presented these difficulties and these challenges. So some of us are more stubborn than others, and it will take some big upheaval like a cancer or an addiction. But they are designed to wake us up. To wake us up from a life and be authentic. To not live someone else's lives, and to be who we're truly meant to be. And realize that all the superficial crap that society tells us we need to have to be happy just isn't important at all. And everything that we're searching for externally in our life, it's all in here, and it always has been. So we have a choice. And that choice is, how do we perceive and how do we look at these challenges and these difficulties? Because we have a choice of either playing the victim and saying, why does this always happen to me? Why has this thing happened to me? Why has that person treated me that way? Why have I got this challenge ahead of me? That's fine, we can go that way if you want. But if you go that way, that higher self, that part of you that loves you unconditionally, will keep giving you challenges and keep nudging you and saying, please fucking wake up. Or we have a choice to, when the challenge comes along, when a difficulty comes along, to look at it and say, wow, what is this about to teach me? What am I about to learn? And who am I about to become? That's all today, guys. I love you all. I'll speak to you all next time. Peace.